Now, I'm very optimistic that the first phase, it will be done, so the development has to go on. Whenever there is a standstill, there will also be a relapse at the end. So that's why we have to go more into this mediation in the pressure of Israelis to accept Palestinian dignity, Palestinian freedom, the state of Palestine, which most of the countries accept. Nobody has yet an idea how it goes on after the hostage release and the exchange of prisoners. The next step first is the disarmament of the Hamas. This is not yet negotiated, nobody has a plan, and here I think it's important to avoid the mistakes of Oslo. It's important to talk about the end state and to discuss the final status questions. Oslo left it open. The Trump plan also leaves it open. But this has to be discussed in order to go ahead, because the Palestinians, they want security, they want freedom, they want dignity. The Israelis want security and they want to keep the identity of a Jewish state. And this has to be discussed between Palestinians and Israelis. The international community can help, can assist, can develop ideas. However, the populations have to agree. It can be helpful, we can go to meetings, we can convene meetings, but it's up to the populations who have to decide. I think it's very important to bring it to the Security Council. And this is an American plan, so the Americans will not veto. And the Russians and the Chinese and the Europeans also, of course, not. Well, I do hope that we play a more active role, because we were considered in the European Union as the stumbling block, so to say, in this respect, and we did not agree with sanctions against Israel and with tougher measures in order to exert pressure on Israel to stop this unproportional war and the mass killings in Gaza. But Germany and Egypt alone is not enough, because there will be $100 billion needed over the next 10 years. The place is in rubbles. It will take 5 years in order to remove the rubbles, to rebuild the buildings. And the most urgent thing is now to have hospitals, to have schools restituted, to have clean water. But imagine a scenario: there are German soldiers in Gaza and there are some kind of reactions of the Israeli defense forces. Then German soldiers would be forced to shoot on Israeli soldiers. Now that's, totally unimaginable for Germany.